to be such a good floor for doing backflips on. You do backflip?
Okay, we do backflip.
Not bad.
That's impressive, man. Couldn't do backflip, I'll break my neck.
Hey guys, Charles has just joined me at my home this morning. He's gonna spend the day with me. We're gonna go through a little bit of a cooking tutorial, have some steak for breakfast. We're gonna head into the gym, see what's going on, catch up with the team in there. Tune in, I hope you enjoy the video and the content to come. So we're gonna porterhouse. What sort of steak do you usually cook?
Porterhouse or like a scotch?
Yeah, something with a bit more fat through it.
Yeah.
So we'll go through how I prepare mine. Probably the most important thing and the first thing to know when you're cooking a steak is you need to take it out of the fridge and let it warm to room temperature. You been doing that?
No.
Nah, there's your first mistake. When it's cold and straight out of the fridge, what you're probably gonna get is a rubbery, tough, chewy steak in the middle and then a burnt outside if it's all the way through. So take the steak out. That one's been out resting for probably as long as an hour and a half. Take the fat side and I put that down first. And what we're doing is cooking the fat down first, which is not only going to crisp up a little bit, but the juices from that fat will actually start to disperse through the pan, which will be really nice for us to cook in. So I'll give that a couple minutes with its fat down. I'm a pretty basic bitch when it comes to my steak. As long as it's a good piece of meat with some organic ghee and butter and some salt, I don't feel like it actually needs much more than that. One of the reasons why I like ghee is because not only of the flavor, but the smoke point. So ghee has got one of the highest temperature smoke points in comparison to other cooking oils, while also having the benefit of being lactose free. Therefore, it's typically friendly for those even with some dairy sensitivities. A few herbs and spices. And I'm actually gonna throw that not on the steak, but on top of the butter in the pan. Reason why I don't like putting it straight on the steak is because often when I've done that in the past, it then actually just burns. Yeah, and you spoon these juices over the top of the meat. So we cooked that steak for 6 minutes. Rule of thumb, you let a steak rest for the same amount of time that you cooked it for in total. So we'll wait another 6 minutes here as that meat will continue to cook through the center. Okay, let's have a look. And let that rest, it should start to pink up. Yeah, I bet you want some, Bronson. And literally, generous amount of salt. Salt bay that shit. Should we do the taste test?
Yep.
Here we go, Bruns. See if we get the approval. Sit down. Good boy. Pretty happy? Pretty happy? Yeah. Medium, medium rare. Bit of pink in the middle. It's got that nice crust on the outside that you want with a good steak. Juicy. Beautiful. And the fat, I don't understand people that cut off the fat on their steak. It tastes so good. But again, raw, gristly, chewy fat, not much fun. Hence why we go fat down in the pan first to give it a little bit of that crisp edge. Rated out of 10? Sorry. You're just fucking saying that. So a lot of people ask questions about supplementation, particularly what am I taking at the moment or what do I take? Look, my supplement regime is certainly non-religious and something that is always, I suppose, evolving because I think everything has a place and a time and it depends on what I am trying to achieve. And you got to take into consideration, I guess, the practical execution of that protocol, being that I don't want to be walking around like a maraca shaker trying to take pills and potions all the time. But this is what's sitting on my kitchen bench at the moment. So we have a Male Optimize, which is basically a beef organs supplement for some of the things that are a little bit harder to get in on such consistent levels. Vitamin D, particularly coming into the cooler months in Melbourne and getting less and less sunlight. So vitamin D making up a huge part of my immune system and also essentially working like a pro-hormone, improving the function of your natural steroid profiles and I guess overall mental health. Pure NMN, I take that for improved brain function and I suppose some protectiveness from neural degeneration given the amount of concussions and head knocks that I have had in my life. A little bit of zinc, okay, really high demand point of view, second behind magnesium in terms of enzymatic reactions, again supporting the I suppose natural steroid profiles within the male body, brain function and sleep quality. So I typically take that in the evening. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, this has been one of the hardest supplements to get your hands on in the last 2 years since I think it come off Amazon or something with COVID because you know, we probably can't even say that in the video, but it's been shown to, I suppose, have protective effects in treatment rather than prevention. But NAC is, I suppose, a strong detoxifier of the body, helps replenish glutathione. I usually take 1 or 2 of these a day and typically around my sauna, which I do in the evening, while NAC has also been shown to improve the severity of symptoms in those with endometriosis, I think, and polycystic ovaries. Finally, some BPC 157, okay, which is a peptide. Peptides are often taken via injection or can be via capsule. So the BPC 157 is a really good, I suppose, healer of the body. So things with injuries and inflammation, and has some really strong bodies of research behind it in terms of its benefits to the integrity of your gut health, and therefore the oral, I suppose, administering rather than injection is preferable for, I guess, the benefits within the gut. So that's what I'm currently loosely taking at the moment, and some magnesium in the evenings, which is upstairs by my bedside because that's there to, I suppose, help promote deep sleep and recovery. All right, Bronze. Yeah. Oh, it's pretty warm now. What's up, Sean?
How are you, man?
Cool to come over about 11:30 again?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, good man.
Yeah,
See you in a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
BCAAs, waste of money.
Yep.
So when we're looking at branched chain amino acids, that's only 3 amino acids. You got leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So
I don't know what that is.
so when we look at protein,
Yep.
protein's made up of 21 amino acids.
Yep.
This has got 3 of them in there. So a lot of people, in isolation, in studies and stuff, it might, in a clinical trial, look to show some benefit. But if we put that into the grand scheme of things, if you're not eating enough food, if you're not managing your stress, you're not training properly, versus the cost per dose, you know what I mean? Is it worth your money? I'd probably say probably not, but you can get essential amino acids, which is not just 3, it's all the essential amino acids, which I think is like 10, 11 of them, which will be better for your recovery. So certainly not gonna hurt ya, but where I've seen this become problematic is in, and I was one of the people that did it first. Gym bros, 16, 17 years old, right, I can sip on this all day and it will stimulate protein synthesis even in a fasted state and save my gains and I'll burn fat. And then before you know it, amino acids compete in the blood-brain barrier because that's where we make our neurotransmitters from amino acids. So when you've had a huge influx of just these single 3 amino acids, you can start to feel tired and wired and all hell out of shape from just an imbalance. So you might have them while you're training. Next time, get essential amino acids instead of BCAAs. Are we in your way? Why don't you just tell me to fuck off? Huh?
Reese's. Oh, you tapped my shoulder and I'll move.
I was about to keep you late there.
Use your words, Marshall.
So what are you doing now?
Going to get bashed up for an hour and a half, which is very humbling. Training wise for me at the moment has it's been a bit of a shift and a change, I guess. Reinventing my relationship with exercise as, you know, I used to train very hypertrophy based, which is no longer serving me in the way that it used to. So when we look at, you know, programming perspectives, for example, people are always looking to do things as optimally as possible, and that's where I think sometimes you can actually create a mistake, because the most optimal program, whether that be nutrition or training, is not the most optimal program if it is not executed. So it may look good on paper, but it comes down to the individual's ability to actually execute that. And me, an optimal hypertrophy training program is not being executed right now. So given that, I suppose my motivations and reasons for training are, I suppose, to look good, to feel good, energy-wise, be pain-free, and ultimately be able to, I suppose, protect myself in any undesirable situations and all of those that I love around me. So, you know, I'm doing two jiu-jitsu sessions a week, and aiming for sort of 3 strength-based sessions, while of course remaining active with lots of walking of old mate here. But you know, rather than trying to be so disciplined, looking at that program, hitting everything perfectly, and you know, progressing and tracking all those things, trying to get some fun back into training. I think that's probably one of the most overlooked things and forgotten things, that exercise should be fun. If you're not enjoying it, you're not going to do it well anyway. So I've kind of gone through and created a list of exercises that are functional, okay, so have transferable application to everyday life or to my performance on the jiu-jitsu mat there. So, you know, lots of pull-ups, lots of core work, lots of transverse movements, diagonal, things like deadlifts, lots of posterior chain, and of course some pressing and so forth, some stability work with bottoms up presses, lots of the movements that are on Living Rewired in the functional folder. So rather than me necessarily having a set program and something to follow, I've got a list of exercises of things that are going to be beneficial to my body, my performance, and its function. And I'm going to do them frequently and make some workouts, have fun, work hard. That's me at the moment with training. Just shut the door.
Bye, friends.
I find I can lift it hard, it's easier than do a lot of hip reps.
You're pretty fast twitch muscle fiber.
Yeah, we're doing more deal loading, we're gonna do more reps.
This would be such a good floor for doing backflips on. You do backflip?
Okay, we do backflip.
Not bad.
That's impressive, man. Couldn't do backflip, I'll break my neck. I'll break my neck straight away. I'll be one of those dumb men like on the internet. Like, I'll break my neck. It's cool. It's a good way to celebrate backflip.
100%. A little bit of a shiner coming up on the eyebrow, which is nice, something, a little trophy to take home with me. Earned the sweat and the session. Still got plenty to do from business point of view, working with I suppose the banks at the moment, just preparing certain financials for some of the future plans, which is all tedious stuff, and in a way a lot of it's new to me from a business perspective too, given in my previous relationship my partner kind of handled more of the operational side of things and had a banking background. So, you know, that was kind of, in a way, the desire for that partnership in the beginning was to be able to delegate the things that I don't particularly enjoy or wouldn't call my forte, and let me focus just on the service, product and delivery, and I suppose representation of the brand. But now life moves on, and you have to evolve. And these are the new experiences that I'm kind of going through to look to grow the Jungle brand. So not where I like spending my time, but it's all part of the parcel when it comes to running your business, you know. So the admin, the non-glamorous stuff that has to go on behind the scenes, it's just tedious. So that's what my afternoon. The exciting stuff's been done. The training, the food, the cooking, the supplements, talking with you, hanging out with Charles, and back to reality, I suppose, behind the fucking laptop.